Now, the most requested character by far, Cyrax. Now bear with me guys, this video is not about what you guys want to see yet. That video will come shortly in due time. But for right now, Cyrax is such a good character that he will probably have multiple videos on him targeting different aspects of his character. So, to get into this video, as you guys can see by reading the title, it says, the most broken anti-air in NRS history. What I'm about to show you guys is going to blow your mind at like the anti-air that this character had. If you were ever playing against a good Cyrax player in this game, and they read that you were going to jump at him, there was almost nothing you could do to not get anti-aired. Like 99% of the time, if you were jumping at a Cyrax player, there was almost no escape to avoid it. Like even characters like Tana, who could do things like jump forward and then throw an air fan, and because of her air fan makes her do an air backdash, she would avoid a lot of amazing anti-airs in this game, like anti-air jabs, anti-air spin attacks from Kung Lao, and so on. However, Cyrax has an anti-air move in this game, which is literally called anti-air. That's the name of the move. It's called anti-air. So whoever designed this is literally giving you what it's called right from the name. And it's this move right here. This is called anti-air. This is a 9-frame anti-air. And like I said, almost nobody can escape this. The only character I know that can possibly avoid this is if you're playing Kung Lao. And Kung Lao does a forward jump. You go to anti-air with Cyrax and then he teleports. But even then, even if you do that, this move has like no whiff recovery. That Cyrax lands instantly and you as a Kung Lao player will just be teleporting to go behind Cyrax's previous location. That at that point it wouldn't even do anything. So not only was this move an amazing anti-air, but it was also used as an evasive maneuver, which could be used to hop over moves like Cabal's Buzzsaw, because it would make Cyrax become airborne. And you can see, like I said, it has no recovery, so you can just throw it out there and kind of move with it. So, it's a 9-frame attack. And I already know some of you guys are saying, Rio, 9 frames? Come on, man. I've seen anti-airs that come out in 1 frame. I understand, but hear me out. Because this game, I'm going to have to explain something else about this game, because this game had a mechanic that no other MK game had going forward from this game. I guess they removed it. But this game, a lot of the anti-airs, a lot of the good anti-airs, especially the anti-air specials, had something called Invincibility towards jump attacks. And these moves were giving air invincibility towards air attacks, so that even though someone could do a jump punch or jump kick and technically hit you with it or do it first, your move would have priority over it because your move is an anti-air. And that's usually how games design anti-airs. They either give the anti-air move a priority system, they either give it invincibility to air attacks so it can go through them, and so on. So in MK9, this game featured invincibility towards airborne opponents so that moves could anti-air. Cyrax's anti-air throw had this. Jax's anti-air throw had this. Shiva's anti-air throw had this. Many attacks that were designed to anti-air in this game had that, and that's why there were such consistent anti-airs. Like, even though Shiva's the worst character in the game, you couldn't jump on a good Shiva with most of the cast because she could anti-air you. Unless you were playing like a character like Kung Lao or some character with dive kicks, you know, characters that can kind of trick you. Anyway, this video is about Cyrax, so let's get back into Cyrax. So Cyrax, this anti-air move, it's ridiculously good. Not even a dive kick character can get past it. If you're Sonya, I don't care if you're going to jump forward or if you're going to jump forward and do a dive kick or if you're going to jump forward and do a jump kick. It does not matter. If I read that you jump forward and you become airborne and I see it and I do this, you're getting anti-aired and there's no way around it. If you do dive kick, you lose. If you do jump kick, you lose. If you do jump punch, you lose. If you do empty jump forward, you lose. You're getting anti-aired, period. So let me explain why this move is the best anti-air ever that NRS has ever created. First of all, yes, the move's 9-frame startup. However, this is very misleading if you're reading the frame data, because if you go by what I mentioned earlier on this move has a priority system to air attacks, you would know that this move is invincible to all airborne opponents on frame 1. So technically, even though it hits you on the 9th frame, if you're airborne and I do this, and your character is doing an air attack, Cyrex is fully invincible. So literally at 1 frame, I can see you jump and anti-air you. Even on a cross-up, you cannot, if the Cyrex player was sitting there and they were reading that you were in their face doing pressure and then you were gonna jump and cross them up, this will be an anti-air every single time. So let's explain why the move is so good. I'm gonna have Mileena jump. Let's just do a forward jump. You see how good that is? How he jumps very far, grabs you, puts you on the ground. It's a hard knockdown. Cyrex is advantage off it, and then he can do things like set up bombs, throw a net if you're trying to wake up, do a wake up attack and catch you. He can set up all kinds of momentum just from that one anti-air, and it opens up a ton of his game. Now let's even go further to demonstrate how good the anti-air is. So Mileena in this game has one of the best teleport attacks, and it's her EX teleport move. It's her EX teleport kick, and this is what it looks like. The EX one of this is 2. She does 2 teleports, and then she ends up behind you in the second one. Now this move has a 3-frame gap in between. 3-frame gap, meaning nobody can poke out. You can only use things like armor to get out, or if you had Invincibility, which I'm going to show you. So what would happen if Cyrex was sitting here and he was reading Mileena doing her EX telekick, which has only a 3-frame gap? Let's see what happens. So Mileena does it. You can see that Cyrex does not care. He will anti-air you through even a move with a 3-frame gap, meterlessly. This is available 24/7. Okay, you're still not convinced that this is an amazing anti-air? Okay, let me blow your mind right here then. We're gonna do another move then. We're not even gonna do a move that has a gap. We're just gonna do a move that puts a character airborne. What about this move? This is Mileena's scissor kick. It's one of the best overheads in the game. It's plus 10 on block, and it's completely crushes lows. So if you're throwing out a poke or a low attack when Mileena's doing this, you're getting launched. This is, like I said, one of Mileena's best moves. But there's an issue here, and as a Cyrex player, you can probably see what it is. Do you see it? Mileena's lifting off her feet off the ground. You know what this means, right? Technically, she's airborne, is she not? So let's see what happens. I'm going to try and do the anti-air as late as I possibly can to see what happens. Wow. I just anti-aired Mileena, technically, out of her move as her foot was literally down my chest. Let's try and do it as humanly late as possible. Look at that. I went through it. You want to know why I went through it? Because I'm invincible to all air attacks, because it's an anti-air. Mileena's considered airborne, so because I'm using an anti-air attack that has invincibility to air attacks, you can't hit me if you're doing an air attack. However, Cyrex's anti-air starts up in 9 frames. That's when the hitbox becomes active. So Mileena touches the ground with her feet before Cyrex's hitbox becomes active. That's why Cyrex goes completely through her with invincibility, and she doesn't get grabbed because because she lands on the ground and Cyrex's throw is too slow in that instance to catch her. But literally, I was not joking when I said this is the best anti-air NRS has ever designed. Let me even show you guys, in case you guys don't believe me. Where's the move? Right here. The move is called anti-air. Literally, it's called anti-air, and that's what it does. It's an amazing anti-air. And yeah, whoever designed this, hats off to them, because they know how to make anti-airs. I'm not sure why NRS got rid of this mechanic. Maybe they thought it was too scrubby to have an anti-air priority system. But like I said, this game, a lot of anti-airs had this system, which is why they anti-aired so well when you read people jumping. And yeah, this was just a glimpse at Cyrex, a very, very small glimpse. You guys barely know anything about this character. The only thing you know is he has a good anti-air, and probably the most consistent, best anti-air NRS has ever created. But yes, this is, don't worry, this is not the last video on Cyrex. This is just a video to demonstrate the best anti-air featuring Cyrex. Thank you so much for watching.